Concup pace vehicle, exit stage left to the centre green, that front row. Stephen Taylor, Jonathan Allard, row 2, Joel Myers, Max Guilford, row number 3, Connor Rangi, and the 71 of Jamie McDonald, row number 4, Jamie Duff, Jaden Dodge. The cast of the fast are ready. It's time to go from mild to wild. The Sprint Car Gold Cup is underway. Jonathan Allard got a scorcher of a start. Tucking in behind him, Stephen Taylor in the 9 car. He has got Max Guilford breathing down his neck. In 4th spot is Joel Myers Jr. Then we go back to Jamie McDonald, the Sheriff, Jaden Dodge, and Connor Rangi with, oh, we've got one around, it's Guilford. Oh, Max Guilford went round, got collected. Uncharacteristic. The guy has barely put a foot wrong all weekend long.
Sean Ashton's pulled into AJ. He just didn't fire off that turn on this second lap. He's pulled in as well.
Well, I tell you what, Max Guilford, unlike him, got so wide out there in the deep stuff, he managed to turn it round, and he was absolutely honking along, trying to hold on to that 4th position that he had. Hopefully he can get a restart, but he's got a hard path to make through the very big field of sprint cars here tonight.
Yeah, it's Joel Myers Jr. I'm suspecting that's tied up with him.
Well, difficult to know how Speedway NZ will see this. I suspect it'll be Max Guilford, the prime cause. He'll go to the back, and fingers crossed for the Californian Flyer. He'll get to take his grid position very shortly.
Great start there for Jamie McDonald. Well, he is as cunning as a native dog, this guy.
Now, we all know these sprint cars are generally set up for the last 10 laps of a feature race, so a lot of these cars carrying heavy fuel, and they've got to drive around a poor setup initially, but you want that car coming on for the last 10 laps, so that may have contributed to Max Guilford's unfortunate turn there in turns 4, and he'll have to make his way, as we said before, through the field and starting from the back of the field.
Yeah, a lot of cat and mouse stuff in these early laps. Everyone will just want to keep their nose clean. It is a 25-lap journey. They're not won on the first corner, but by golly, a lot of them are lost on the first corner as well. A saving grace for Myers was the fact that he just he slowed up very, very quickly and just gently nudged Guilford. Yep.
Well, a good sign for the Californian Flyer, making his way forwards in the grids. Max Guilford not so fortunate, sitting tacked on the back there. And where will Myers insert himself? Probably about 4th.
He was 4th, yeah.
Yep. Okay, so a return to normal service for Joel Myers Jr. A full restart, I think, AJ.
Well, one car had gone across the line.
Yeah.
So it's double file restart.
Double file restart, that's right. Jaden Dodge, the Sheriff in the 7T car, wanting to make the best of this restart also.
Boy, he's looked good this weekend, hasn't he?
He has got some real pace in that car.
As we see the scoring monitor here, should be Allard and Taylor the front row, Myers McDonald the second row potentially. Rightio, here we go. Green flag flies again. all safely through turns 1 and 2 past the Stadium Finance hospitality area. Another one getting all sideways on. Oh, that's Myers. Boy, the handling of that car just went right off. He could be battling a bent component in the back. He's going to have to work around that one. In the meantime, it's Jonathan Allard. He has his hands around the Sprint Car Gold Cup. In second spot, we go back to Stephen Taylor in the 9 car. Big charge by Dodge up into the second spot. Little bit of light drizzle starting to fall as well. We've got another one around. That's the 44 of Daniel Anderson.
Yep, Daniel Anderson just gone round. Everyone has missed him. So that's a bit of good news.
Yeah, Alan Chapman retiring to the infield as well. What's that drizzle like out there, Warwick? We've got some moisture on the screen here.
Yeah, it's been threatening most of the night, but it's not too bad at this stage. I think you should be right. We don't have too many hold-ups. Alan Chapman could be the brake rotor problems. I mean, it's been glowing in a couple of races. He does say he keeps his foot on it, but it was pretty hot early on in this one, so maybe he had no brakes.
Yep, Jonathan Allard, what a dominant performance he's been putting up. When the yellow came on, he was 1.6 seconds advantage that he was holding. What a move by Jaden Dodge. Is this the emergence of Dodge onto the big stage? He has threatened for so long. Former V8 Ute Racing champion, always been around Speedway. His mum Wendy used to race sprint cars back in the day, and he is a guy I absolutely rate in sprint cars.
Yeah, a few nervous moments for Joel Myers Jr. That handling is not working out very well in that car. Remember, he had that early crash with Matthew Levisage in the heat races, and that car not handling as well as it was in the first 2 heats. But lots of work for most of these guys towards the back. Daniel Anderson now shuffled to the last cab off the back of the sprint car field. But Jonathan Allard looking as impressive as ever with Stephen Taylor and Jaden Dodge.
Yeah, they are getting themselves sorted out pretty quickly. Look at the third row there. Connor Rangi and Jamie Duff. There are battles within battles. Next row back, Matthew Levisage. Boy, yeah, what a stunning run by him to be sitting up there in the top 8 or so already. Speedway New Zealand, we can hear them yelling the grid positions down the one-way radios to the drivers.
Yeah, what an effort, AJ, for Levisage's team to get that car back on track, because there was not a lot left in that front end of it.
Yeah, I'll tell you someone else who's made up some ground, and that's Steve Duff Jr. Don't write the gas man off. Okay, they're looking good. Allard goes. Hammer down time in the Gold Cup. Just 3 laps in the books for the 25-lap journey. Oh, the Duff man just gets slightly sideways on. We've seen that from a number of drivers. Jonathan Allard, he leads the charge of the sprint car brigade. Stephen Taylor in second. Jamie McDonald up into third. In fourth, we've got Jaden Dodge. What a battle going on there for 5th and 6th between Connor Rangi and Jamie Duff. But it is all Allard, Jonathan Allard. He is just rolling away. Another one round. Nigel Colvin in the 42 car goes around.
Well, it's all happening here tonight, isn't it? Nigel Colvin just getting tapped there and pulling up the field for another restart. A frustrating moment for the crowd, of course, but certainly lots of action all over the track. And Jamie McDonald, you made the best of that restart, mate. Good to see you up there in third, the 71A Haikoki sponsored sprint car. He'll be now chasing down Stephen Taylor and Jonathan Allard. But Jonathan Allard looking as strong as ever on the restarts. Hard to get close to him. Stephen Taylor doing his best just to hang on at this stage.
Yeah, the driver I think that's really coming into play now is Jamie McDonald in the 71 car.
And we do see this, don't we, AJ, when the setups come on at different stages of the race, that moisture just coming onto the track may not be affecting them at the moment, but certainly the cars will not be setting up for a greasy track at this stage. So hopefully we can get through this race without any more rain. It looks like it's held back there just at the moment, and we will rack and stack and get started in just a few moments.
Yeah, she's a bit of a stop-start affair right now. The race that doesn't want to get going. Some anxiety perhaps creeping in with some of the drivers who just want to hang on.
Yep.
Joel Myers, boy, he's back there in like 13th spot with Max Guilford beside him.
Let's see how the desperation plays out for these guys that are at the back, and here we go racing again.
Boy, Allard just picks his moment, doesn't he? It's a big bit of cat and mouse stuff that goes on. So we got Jonathan Allard leading the Sprint Car Gold Cup. Stephen Taylor, boy, he is looking sharp in this race as well. Taylor hanging on there. Dodge back up into third with Jamie McDonald in fourth. Here comes the Duff man. Jamie Duff into fifth, and he is starting to hunt down Jamie McDonald. Behind him, it's Connor Rangy, another yellow. Yeah. It's Colvin, and that Cooper will be cooked. We've got another car down there as well.
Bailey Patterson sort of got loose there, and Nigel Colvin, poor old Chester, he thumped that car pretty hard. So you'll certainly need a tow truck to the front of that one.
Well, I tell you what, folks, we can feel the vibe out there in the crowd. We know it's frustrating, these restarts after restarts, but there's a real pressure cooker building up here with some of these drivers, and we'll get these guys cleared. I think that'll be the end of Nigel Colvin for his night, and Bailey Patterson, he'll be off the track as well. Kane Jemmett and Luke McClymont having a bit of fun here at the tower. Good to see those boys enjoying some of the sprint car feature race that's happening. We know that Luke McClymont stepped into a sprint car this year and may well be getting him into one for next season. So Jonathan Allard just circulating. He must be getting very frustrated here, AJ, with all these restarts.
Yeah, he will be, but you just pick where he starts. He's just about right on the nickel every time down there. There is the start zone, so you see the road cone at the entrance to turn number, turn number 3. You're sort of in the starting box from that point on, and Allard just seems to know. Taylor, he has to guess, and he's guessing pretty darn well at this stage. Two more make their way to the infield. There's Harry skipping through the puddles to get into the safe haven, which is starting to get crowded there.
Well, let me tell you, as an ex-driver, the most anxious time is when you go for a restart. The high-octane adrenaline starts pumping. Your heart is through your throat, and these guys have done it several times now. If you want to have a breakdown in sprint car racing, this is it. Multiple restarts, and let's see how they handle it in the next few seconds.
Yeah, yellow light out, restart, they're into the zone. Here we go. Allard's gone. He's just picked that little bit of dirt. Taylor, oh boy, he just about guessed that one right down perfect. Once again, Jamie McDonald got a belter of a start there. Oh, Jamie Duff has just shuffled, dodged back into Dodge now back into the 5th spot there. So the Duff man is on the prowl, leading the Gold Cup. We've got Jonathan Allard in the 0 USA car. Stephen Taylor's throwing everything at it except the toolbox. So Taylor in 2nd. 3rd is Jamie McDonald. Oh, we've got one up and over. Zach Sokol, I think that may well be. A wild ride down there through the prison bend.
Oh, Zachary Sokol riding the wall like a stuntman and tipping that car up multiple times. Jumped the cush, got his car up on the wall and couldn't control it any further. What a wild ride that was for the young Auckland flyer, Zach Sokol.
Yeah, as we see some of that drizzle just starting to hit the screen again. They want to get the tow truck onto that in world record time. Obviously, Zach's well-being is the #1 priority. But boy, I think that weather's starting to threaten a little bit more than we're giving it credit, Warwick.
down here at the entrance, and still got my shorts on. I don't know, must be going over the top of us. I haven't felt too much, so you might be just getting it on your screen.
There you go, folks. Zach Solcole makes his way out of that sprint car. Give him a round of applause. He's put on a pretty big weekend of sprint car racing. Terrible to end your season with a big major crash like that. Makes for a very long trip back to Auckland, but we'll get him into the infield and that car back into the infield also, and try and get this race, which, as you said before, AJ, does not want to get itself started.
Yeah, it sure doesn't. It's as though it doesn't want the season to end. I sort of can feel for it. Look at the Duff man, eh? He's starting to come into contention. Some very solid performances from the local boys, Duff, Dodge, Rangi, all there or thereabouts. Matthew Levisage. Now there is a guy that is so capable of getting right at the pointy end of this. He's super fit and he's super smart.
Yeah, we've watched Matthew Levisage for a number of years racing a very strategic sprint car feature race, and he always makes his way forward in the field. If he just keeps out of trouble, he's got every chance of getting the Toyco 3NZ car up towards the front end of the field. Looks like Zachary Solcole's car just being dragged to the infield. Good to see Zach walking his way to the protective areas, and he'll get a very good view of the 21 laps to go in the Gold Cup feature race.
Yeah, oh boy, she's taken up some time, this one, but you just sense that something very special is about to happen for us in this one. Look at the heavy hitters that are at the front.
I tell you what, on Monday morning, if you said you won the Gold Cup feature race at Ruapuna on Saturday night, you know you've actually worked for it. And as we said before, plenty of restarts, plenty of anxious moments for these guys, and it looks like we'll go racing probably after this lap now. Jamie Duff making his way forwards, the local hero here at the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge Ruapuna Speedway. Made a couple of good passes and finds himself on grid position 4. Jamie McDonald, we've already talked about him, making his way forwards, and all of them trying to edge closer to the USA flyer, Jonathan Allard.
Yeah, talk about Smash Palace revisited. This is the Sprint Car Gold Cup. Jonathan Allard, all set to go. Green flag flies. So it's Jonathan Allard, Stephen Taylor. The Duff man moves up into third. Behind him we've got Jamie McDonald, and then we look back, it's Jaden Dodge, Connor Rangi, and Jamie Larson just slicing and dicing, moves up a spot. That shuffles Matthew Levisage back, and also getting into the fray, the 7 of Oscar Harcourt. It's still our race leader, Jonathan Allard. Oh boy, he is all class tonight. This stage everyone else is racing for second and third, but it ain't over till the weight challenged one has sung. So it's Allard. Stephen Taylor. Taylor just starting to chip slightly into Allard's lead. Jamie Duff closing quickly onto the tail of Stephen Taylor. You look back, a couple of the drivers are starting to utilise the high line. One of them is Connor Rangi. The other is Larson, and so is Max Guilford. The track of two halves is starting to come into play. That's 10 laps in the book, 11 now with Jonathan Allard, Taylor, Duff. They're the front three. The Duff man starting to close on to Taylor. Look at the action going on the high part of the racetrack there. Connor Rangi, it's starting to work for him. Rangi challenging Dodge. Now they do the big quick sprint down the back straight. So it's Connor Rangi. That's where the key action's going on. Let's see how the big boys can make the dirt work for them. The Duff man, he's within one car length of Stephen Taylor. Jonathan Allard, he's lonelier than a warm beer at a barbecue right now. He's so far in front. Taylor coming under some real pressure. The Duffman just trying to reel him in somewhat. 15 laps down, 10 to go in the Gold Cup. Lap traffic is still some way off for Jonathan Allard, so he can breathe easy. It's a battle royal, a royal rumble going on behind him between Stephen Taylor and Jamie Duff. Duff tried to highlight, now he cuts down low. What a battle we've got going on between these two. You can just sense that Duff's trying to get a wee advantage, get the momentum up. He's going to cut that off. Boy, he just about ran into the tail of Stephen Taylor there as they came out of turn number 4. Allard's got Shannara Stronach, put her a lap down, but the Duffman, boy, it's starting to wind up. Taylor now moves up high. He's trying to counter the moves of Jamie Duff. He goes out wide. Duffman snookered him. He got him. No, Taylor comes back. He's got the advantage. A big battle going on there for second and third between Stephen Taylor and Jamie Duff. They're now behind Shannara Stronach. Shannara moves up high. She leaves the racetrack. Here's the drag race down the back chute. It's Stephen Taylor still hanging on to that. Duff closing the gap. Meanwhile, Jonathan Allard is so far in front of the rest of them. This is the key part of the action. Here comes Connor Rangi. He's up onto the tail of Jamie Duff, and he's being followed through by Jamie McDonald. Oh boy, the Gold Cup is starting to unfold. We're lap 21, 4 to go. A butcher's hand to go. Allard got caught up in the lap traffic.
Oh, Ruapuna, the dramas are playing out. A chapter of errors. Jonathan Allard, when he had it all in the bag, gets himself tagged in with Mean Gene Spooner. What a disaster. He had it in the bag. What an event this is turning out to be, AJ.
Oh, boy, you just sensed that something was going to happen. And then we had Jamie McDonald. He turned his car around.
Oh,
Jaden Dodge did likewise to avoid the carnage.
Well, I tell you what, Jonathan Allard will get a restart, believe it or not, but he's going to be off the back. He caused that issue himself, and these other drivers, I think, will get re-gridded up. Wow, what drama's playing out here, folks. We're all watching Stephen Taylor and Jamie Duff, and what happens? Jonathan Allard tips it up. What an absolute disaster for the Dalton Sprint Car team, and he'll be furious under the hood for sure.
Oh, you bet he will be. Gene Spooner, he was just running his line. He was just going about his business. A miscalculation. Whether there was a slight change in line, I don't know. We couldn't see that from this vantage point. Oh boy, that puts the cat among the pigeons.
And our collective heartbeats can just settle for a moment. This race is really turning into one that's got plenty of drama for sure. Stephen Taylor will find himself at the head of the field, and Jamie Duff gets his chance on a restart to take control of the 21st running of the Sprint Car Gold Cup.
Yeah, let's see where they restart the other drivers, because at the time that the yellow came on, McDonald was running in 5th, Dodge in 6th. They took evasive action. Certainly under some sanctioning bodies and some events, if you stop, you just go to the back. It doesn't matter whether you're guilty, innocent, or plead insane. That's where you're going to go.
High drama here at the Racecourse Hotel and Motor Lodge, Ruapuna Speedway. You're getting to witness this live with a crowd of a couple of thousand people here at the track, and you're certainly getting your money's worth. Stephen Taylor, can he hang on? Can Jamie Duff make a bold move in the first couple of laps of this new restart? And Connor Rangi's car is definitely coming on, so plenty to play out here, folks, and what a race it's turning out to be.
Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it always brings out something special. The Sprint Car Gold Cup put anything on the line, and these guys will go for it.
And look who's made his way up through the field, Mad Max Guilford. We know he crashed out very early, but he's putting in some stellar laps to get that car, the I-Vent Sprint Car, up close and in with a chance of getting on the podium. Man, oh man, the drama is all playing out.
Yeah, for all money, it looks as though McDonald and Dodge are going to be able to restart up there. So we've got the 9 and the 19 off the front row.
Now, I've just heard a very interesting comment from our lap scorers next door. Zero USA is out. So not sure exactly why he's out.
Neither do I.
Oh, that'll bring the heckles up of the crowd here. Jonathan Allard, one of the favourite sons of Ruapuna Speedway. He's a great competitor and he's out. Maybe it's mechanical, we don't quite know, but hopefully that's not a Speedway NZ ruling, because the crowd will have blood by the end of the night for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, be very interesting to know why. Let's see if we can get a little tidbit of information rather than just he's out, whether it was his call or someone else's.
Well, you'll remember this, folks, the big running of the Sprint Car Gold Cup. It looks like we're going to go racing fairly shortly. Jamie McDonald sniffing around. He's got the wisdom to try and make a couple of passes. Jamie Duff, plenty of experience in the wild man. Stephen Taylor with a car that's not really performing at the moment. He's having to drive the wheels off that thing to keep it in front. So let's see whose setup's going to come on best in the last 4 laps, or maybe 5 laps of the Sprint Car Gold Cup here tonight.
Yeah, and normally when you're down into the last handful of laps, it is single file restart. The double file goes out the window. Drama aplenty as they roll around. We're going to be led by Stephen Taylor, a young man who was making such big moves in the Sprint Car Nationals here a number of seasons ago and ran out of fuel. You know, he has been close, but no cigar here at Ruapuna, and you feel as though he just wants to get one good win under his belt here. Yellow lights stop flashing. 5 to go in the Gold Cup, Ruapuna. Can the Duff man do it? What about Connor Rangi or Jamie McDonald? Can any of them catch Stephen Taylor? The all-important start. Let's see how this unfolds. 5 laps to go in the Gold Cup. Duff went wide, Connor Rangi saw the gap, but Jamie Duff is starting to love the high line. Oh, McDonald, he joins the fun now. So we've got 4 of them. They've got a breakaway on the rest of the competitors. It's Stephen Taylor leading the way. Connor Rangi in second. What a battle going on there for 3rd and 4th between McDonald and Jamie Duff. These two have fought it out here at Ruapuna and around the country for many, many years. McDonald, he's just drifted back to 4th. Duff man up into 3rd. Stephen Taylor. Is he on his way to a Gold Cup win? Connor Rangi starting to close in on Taylor. Just a couple of laps to go in the Gold Cup. It's Taylor going up high. Rangi's gone up there as well. Duff's come down low. He's trying to see if he can make that work for him. McDonald hanging on to 4th. Here comes Dodge. Here comes Guildford. They're all challenging. White flag comes out. 1 to go in the Gold Cup. It's Stephen Taylor, Connor Rangi, Jamie Duff. That's the order. Stephen Taylor just 300 metres away from Sprint Car glory to take out the Gold Cup. Connor Rangi, he's got one last crack at it. He's not going to make it work. Taylor takes the win. Rangi in second, Duff 3rd, 4th was a photo finish. Max Guildford got McDonald on the line. Dodge in 6th, Levisage 7th, Oscar Harcourt in 8th. What a race. Put your hands together, folks. Thrills and spills with tonight's Avon Insurance Sprint Car Gold Cup, and it's taken out by Stephen Taylor.